Hey, what's up guys, it's Liam or Weagle on your Overwatch, back with a new video today. We're going to be talking about lots of cool things happening in the Overwatch community, and also some stuff that maybe isn't so cool. But there's a lot of different posts I wanted to talk about that have kind of been looked over this week. But firstly, don't forget, you only have 13 days left to D-rank in Season 9. When this ends on the 27th, I do believe that the next season will be on the 1st of April, as it is on a Tuesday. And if that number isn't exact, it will be very much around then. There's only a few days break. And why do you tell us this, Weagle? Well, the reason is Brigitte, of course, will also be available for you to D-rank with in Season 10. She's going to be really good in the game, we believe, and very strong in matchmaking. And I hope that this also makes Blizzard realize they waited too long to bring out the new hero to the ranked mode. I personally can't wait to see her in games. I think she's going to make a big difference, so you can look forward to that at the end of this month. Also, don't forget, around that time, we're going to be seeing the Hanzo rework and the new map. That could happen really any time between now and the end of this season. We don't have a solid date, but it is coming soon. Moving on, Jeff Kaplan has actually confirmed that Overwatch could kill off a hero one day, and that this could be done in many ways. In an interview with Kotaku, he talked a lot about the concept of lore and how a hero could be killed off within the game. Now, you have to think about people like Widowmaker's husband, who are still in the lore and even make it into comics and cinematics and these different things for the Retribution event. So just because someone is killed off does not necessarily mean they won't be mentioned in some kind of lore in the past. And from what Jeff says, it also seems like if they were to ever kill off a character, they'd still be playable in game. They wouldn't just remove them from the game. And the interesting thing about this is this article is also linked to a lot of different hints about, will there be a movie, will there be some kind of cinematic episodic events, or just more cinematics in general. And Jeff goes on to say in this article that before they're likely to kill off a main character, there needs to be a lot more lore explored with the characters that are in the game currently, because we don't really know a lot about any of the characters in the game. Mostly there's just fragments of information that we've picked up on the different lore bits, whether it be comics or the animations. And when you really think about it, it's crazy how much people feel invested in these characters, actually knowing very little about them. And it's quite an impressive thing that Blizzard have actually set up in this universe. But what I want you guys to let me know in the comments is, if you could kill off a character, who would it be? So, moving on, Jeff has also spoken to Kotaku about BR modes, similar to like Fortnite and PUBG. Now, I know all of you are just like cringing there with them talking about it, but Jeff has actually spoken to them and says that they play a lot of these games and they would love to do something like it with Overwatch, although the technicalities of it are very, very complicated. Of course, a lot of the points on Overwatch, the map specifically, like Hanamura, he uses as an example, is like 40 meters across. If you want to put 100 people into a game to duel it out, the map needs to be way bigger than that. So there's actually a lot more work involved than people think, but it is something they've spoken about and considered, which personally surprised me quite a lot. Now, moving on, talking about heroes you'd like to remove from the game, there's actually been a lot of one-tricks getting warned on Overwatch since the new update. And the reason for this is because of the new avoid teammate feature people are using against these one-tricks is getting to the point where if they play with enough people, they can't find games, or it takes a lot longer for one-tricks to find games. Now, what I find most interesting about this, regardless of my personal opinion, is that the community are clearly letting these players know that they don't think it's cool for you to one-trick a hero, because you're shoehorning in a character into a comp where it isn't very good. In fact, it's also very obvious that Blizzard have designed this system to time out after 2 weeks, because if it didn't, eventually these one-tricks would never be able to find a game because everyone would have avoided them. Now, personally, I don't think that that's a terrible idea, but of course it is for some people. Really, we just need a real ranked mode, which is going to take me on to something else, because we talk about the ranked mode a lot, but I want to give you guys a different perspective on it that is not my own. Now, Amelia Mary Justice is an aspiring esports journalist, and she's posted on Invent Global a very interesting title, which is Overwatch's failing ranked system puts Overwatch esports in jeopardy. Now, I'm not going to read out the entire post, but I want to talk about this concept that she's describing, and that is that people will maybe go and watch Overwatch League, and they want to go and play Overwatch Ranked because they're inspired. They see all this teamwork and how good the game is, and then they go to try to move over and play it themselves, and then they get put with one tricks, toxic teammates, and all the stuff that we find frustrating. She also goes on to explain that with other games coming out like Fortnite, where you can just squad with your friends, people are moving on to that, and some of that spark that Overwatch once had is wearing off because of these other games coming out and the fact that it's been out a long time and people are still putting up with these ranked issues. And she also goes on to say that other esports in their ranked modes resembles the pro play. This happens in CS, in LoL, in all kinds of other games, whereas in Overwatch, it's nothing alike. In fact, pro players themselves, Agilities included, has said they don't really play ranked because what's the point? It's terrible practice. So they go off and they scrim with their teammates offline. In fact, they're even contractually bound to not stream any scrims on their personal websites, which means a lot of the joy and wonder and competitive nature of Overwatch is completely sealed off to the biggest portion of the community, which is the casuals like me and you guys. We still want to play some form of a ranked mode, but how do we access that? And this article puts it all down perfectly with the things I've just explained. It does not resemble a ranked mode, it's a free-for-all, it's toxic, and there's no real way to group, play with your friends without being punished. And the solution given here is this game needs a role queue and or separate queues so that people can stack with their friends and play in a more competitive nature. Now, you can also just remove restrictions and let stacks play against solos, which most games do, but I just don't feel like the Blizzard team are going to do that. So I think a happy compromise would be a team queue. So guys, let us know in the comment section what you think. What hero would you like to see killed off from the game? And also, how are your ranked games going? Have you been reporting these one tricks and avoiding them? And do you want a team queue like we do? Your Broken Record Watch. Be sure to drop a like, as it does help us out and lets us know that you're enjoying the content, and you're going to want to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when our videos go live. Be sure to have a great day as always. Take care and peace, people.